Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another rant. I know that has been a theme on this channel recently, and it's not because I hate books, but I've read a lot of books that have driven me completely crazy, and so I need to talk about them. As the title suggests, today it's about Burn for Burn. This series has been out for like literally a million years, so this is kind of late, but I just read it, so you know, deal with it. So this is the first book, Burn for Burn by Jenny Han and Siobhan Vivian. There's 3 books total in this trilogy, as is very common for trilogies. The second one is called Fire with Fire. I don't have that physical copy here with me right now, but I do have Ashes to Ashes, the final one, which I literally would love to transform into ashes, because it sucks so bad. But let's back up a little because this is about this entire trilogy and I want to talk about it. So this is book 1. The plot of this book follows 3 girls, Mary, Kat, and Lilier. They're all Lilier. That sounds like it's a, what's that word? Not a is it a comparative word? Like not the superlative, but the comparative. Lilia. And they all go to the same high school. Kat and Lilia used to be friends like years before, but Mary doesn't really know anyone, and the three of them, maths, the 3 of them kind of get together by chance and figure out that all of them are mad at separate people and that they would love to take revenge for things that have been done to them. And so they kind of group up and decide to do that together. So basically, Burn for Burn, they want to hurt the people that did some shit to them. I get it, it makes total sense. This first book was crazy good. I was super addicted to this. Excuse my dog barking in the background. Jesus fucking Christ. Taking my aggressions out on my dog. No, just kidding, I never do that, but he's quiet now. I can't actually explain quite why I love this book so much. I just was really into the characters. They all had very different personalities, which is something that you don't often get in YA somehow. Like, if there's 3 girls kind of in a similar situations, or 3 people in general in a similar situation, their personalities will usually tend to be kind of samey. But for these 3, we do get like completely separate storylines. Each of them has like their own motivations and thoughts and feelings, and it was just really cool to read about them. I just also loved their whole dynamic. It was just girl power pour. They were kicking ass, taking names. It was awesome. I loved it. I loved it so much. And then obviously I needed to read book 2 because there was a cliffhanger at the end of this. A cliffhanger? I'm angry. I'm angry. I have book anger, but not cliffhanger. There was a cliffhanger at the end of this, and I needed a sequel, so I bought Fire with Fire. So basically then in the, oh, he's cute. He just like laid down in front of my door. I heard him. Oh, better than barking at random strangers. So then we have Fire with Fire, the second book, which I thought was also so good. Some people have said it was kind of too long and slow paced. I didn't think so at all. I actually just loved it so much. In the second book, we kind of deal mainly with the fallout from the events of book 1, where the 3 girls have to kind of take responsibility for what they did and face the consequences of it all. And then of course the second book had this amazing plot twist that was so mind-blowing. I swear I did not see that coming for a second. It was extremely well done, and it was just such a surprise because I didn't think that this series would be capable of something like that. So that was just so crazy, and I thought oh my god, if this is the second book, what are we gonna get for book 3? After this huge plot twist, oh my god, I can't even imagine. And then I genuinely wish I had just not wasted 20 bucks of my money on the fucking 3rd book, because that shit should not exist. I would love for us all to just pretend Ashes to Ashes does not exist. And honestly, if you're still reading the series or you're planning to read it, just don't read the 3rd one. Just don't. So there are several things that I completely despised about this one. The biggest one, I think, is that they tried to wrap up this entire series within 50 pages of the 3rd book. Actually, not even that. 1 chapter, which is maybe 5 to 10 pages. This entire book has close to 400 pages, and they just trundle along the beginning and the middle of it, and then just at the end they're oh wait, now it's fuck, we're running out of pages here, we need to finish this shit up. And then it's completely random. Literally there's 1 sentence per important like plot point basically, so you know what I mean, like in the style of like, and then this happened, and then he showed up, and then she showed up, and then they did this, and then this happened, and this is like literally, this reads like a summary of what the ending should have been like this more comprised version of it, except that there is no other version, and that fucking sucks. And then the worst part is the fucking epilogue, because literally it reminded me of those documentaries, you know, where you follow like some people and then the documentary is over, and then obviously since they filmed the documentary, time has passed, so they like write like a few lines about each of the people that they like showed in the documentary, like person A went on to do this, and person B died in 19 something, and like person C did this. Like that is what the epilogue was like, but it was completely random. It made no sense to kind of even do that at all, because you were still obviously part of the story somehow, but then it's like, oh, by the way, in case you want to know what happened to these people, here it is in like 3 pages. And even worse than that, some of the relationships that they had worked so hard to build up in the books that we follow for so long, for so closely, for no apparent reason, they change 180 degrees in a sentence, you know? So there's a relationship between, let's say, Marcus, I'm gonna make up these names so they're not spoilers, Marcus and Veronica, okay? Let's say Marcus and Veronica are in a relationship, and you follow that relationship for most of this fucking book, right? And then literally in the epilogue, they're like, and then Marcus moved away, and Veronica never spoke to him again, and then she gets together with this other guy, and then they've been inseparable ever since, and I'm like, Jesus fuck, what? This entire book is the story of their relationship. And then they're just like, oh, and then they are not together anymore. Like, fuck, what? What just happened? Is this even the same book? I think not. Don't get me wrong, I know sometimes books end in a way where you're not happy with it, and like the authors make decisions that don't like meet everyone's expectations, and that's fine, but this isn't even like, I don't even know what this is. This cannot be described as like an executive decision on the author's part, where you're like, okay, towards the end of this we're gonna change things so that they go in a different direction, kind of in an unexpected way. Instead, literally they changed the entire setup of this book in like 1 paragraph, and it makes no sense. Absolutely, whatsoever. No fucking sense. In general, this book seemed so disconnected from the first 2. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know how I mentioned earlier, I thought that the 3 had like separate and unique personalities? None of that was left. This entire book follows one of the girls, basically. The other 2 kind of fade into oblivion, whereas before their like dynamic was kind of more balanced. Everybody got like kind of the same amount of screen time and importance measured to them, and then also their personalities seemed streamlined and changed. Especially one person's personality was just not her. Like I did not even recognize that person. There were also so many loose ends that were not tied up whatsoever. Like I wanted so much more backstory. Throughout this trilogy, there's a person in particular, a guy that is at first portrayed as a very bad guy, but that somehow at one point he just kind of flips, and he's apparently now a good guy, but that flip was never really acknowledged and never really explained, and especially considering his past and what he did in the past, that was never touched upon either. Like, what was his motivation for being a shitty person back then? In general, this entire story seemed so implausible. Like, people's reactions, people's feelings, people's actions in general, like, seemed completely out of the blue, as if they were tailored just to fit an underlying storyline, but not going with their backstory or with their personality at all. And I hate this trope of this like bros before hoes, or what's it, girls before friend, what's the female version of that? Sister before mister, some shit like that. Like that fucking, I hate that trope. I hate the idea that that makes any kind of fucking sense in reality. I even hate it when people do that in real life, because I feel like it makes no fucking sense to be this way. Okay, let me just say some basic stuff right now. If you are a girl and you have a crush on a guy and you kind of got to him first, whatever that fucking means, but the guy likes your friend and the friend likes him back, You don't have a fucking right to shit all. There's no calling dibs on people. There's no being first at like seeing somebody and then nobody else has a right to fall in love with that person. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's a little bit of a different situation if like girl and boy are in a relationship, then they break up, and then the guy gets like in a relationship with one of the girl's friends or some shit. Like, okay, if you're mad about that, I kind of get it, even though it also doesn't make that much sense because people can't control their fucking feelings. Just as a side note. But if they weren't even in a relationship, seriously, just because you have feelings for a guy, he doesn't have to reciprocate them just because you were first, okay? That is not a thing. That does not exist, that doesn't make sense in real life, and it doesn't make sense in books. Okay, that was my piece. Soapbox moment over, but Jesus Christ, this happened so much in this book. We're literally the entire school, yeah? We're mad about these two people because they had betrayed, the girl had betrayed her friend. Okay, all of the air quotes, because she hasn't. Okay, she didn't. The guy never liked the other girl. Spoiler alert. So it doesn't fucking matter. Oh my god. I need to cool down because Jesus Christ. I hate when people make that a thing. Like, it's not a thing. It doesn't work that way, okay? Okay. Whew. I need to relax. Relax. Take it easy. I can't because this book is so fucking stupid. Okay. I think I need to end this video here because it is draining my life energy to even think about this any longer. But I'm glad I got it off my chest because that's what rants are for, is as an outlet. And also people like really like rant videos. I do. I know I love them. So, yeah. Just giving the people what the people want. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't read Ashes to Ashes. Literally, you can go ahead and read the first two. They're really good. But fuck Ashes to Ashes. I want them. No. Did anybody on this planet enjoy this book? I don't think so. See you guys soon. Have a lovely week. Bye.